Ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks ago, Moses Kuria made this revelation during his interview with Jeff Koinange on JKL.
Let me ask you a question. My good friend Rigathi is preparing to go for an overseas trip. Where?
US.
Which month?
September.
The president will be there in September.
What's your point?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
And the question is there something Moses Kuria knew which most Kenyans did not know at that time?
2 weeks later.
Jumatano nishike bibi yangu mkono niingie ndege niende Amerikani kusurura huko. Niende nikasurura huko, si ndio? Kakae na wazungu na Waafrika, nikae huko na nitakaa kwa muda. Kwa hivyo mchunge nyumbani. I'll stay for a while. Na iko sababu. Iko mambo mimi napanga. Haiwezi pangiwa hapa. Inaenda we Ruto Rigathi.
Because clearly, Rigathi Gachagua has confirmed that indeed he will be traveling to the United States of America. And it's also a known fact that President William Ruto will also be traveling to the United States of America.
Nakimbia Amerika kidogo, nikirudi nitakimbia Bomet, nikimbia Kericho, nikimbia Nandi, ndio anifuate nyuma. Hiyo watu wapate maendeleo kidogo. Na niambie watu ya North and South Rift, sasa mumejua dawa ni gani? Ni kuingia DCP, kukaribisha Rigathi, alafu Kasongo atafanyia nyinyi maendeleo. Mimi nimetoka hapo Friday, Kasongo hapo kesho. I was there on Friday, he is there tomorrow. Kwa hivyo hii wakalaji ni wajue hiyo ndio dawa. Huyu Kasongo hawezi fanyia watu kazi ambayo hawapingi Kwa hivyo nyinyi wakalaji ni mkitaka maendeleo kwa sababu hamuna chochote, muingie kwa DCP. Either remaining 1 year atafanyia nyinyi 1-2. Alafu mkubaliane na sisi after 1-2 akuwe 1 term, kwa sababu akirudi hakuna kitu atafanya.
The question is, what are they going to do in the United States of America? This is what Rigathi Gachagua said about his travel to the US.
One of the reasons that I'm traveling to the United States is to enhance our capacity in terms of equipment, in terms of technology, to conduct free and fair nomination in the last week of March next year. I want to assure our young people, because even Leon Major has asked, please go to the ground. The rest will be decided by the people. Nobody will get a direct nomination in DCP. There is no preferred candidate anywhere, and we will allow everybody to compete fairly.
According to Rigathi Gachagua, he's traveling to the US to prepare for DCP nominations, which will be completed by March next year. According to Rigathi, he's going for equipment and technology. But there's one fact which we've consistently maintained on this platform, that in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. Rigathi Gachagua will be in the US. Ruto will also be in the US. And because the two will be US, Kenyans have a right to know what they will be doing. Because Rigathi has stated he's going to stay for a long time. For William Ruto, it's just a short period of time. And one thing I also know is that Moses Kuria, having served as a cabinet minister, understands a lot of things going around within our political circles. So are these guys going to the US with an aim of meeting? Because they can't meet here in Kenya. Of course they can meet, but it would be safe for the president. It would also be safe for Rigathi Gachagua to be out, Ruto to be out. Then they squeeze time. I remember initially when the news of Raila meeting with Ruto began, I remember there was a time, I think Raila was somewhere, Ruto was also somewhere, and stories emerged that they met in Dubai. And indeed, it was later confirmed that these gentlemen actually met in Dubai. So some of these stories, they don't just emerge. There must be something behind this story. So the question which we should then ask ourselves is, why would Rigathi plan to meet with President William Samoei Arap Ruto? Number one, I think Rigathi is planning to run for 2027 and is planning to run not to win. Rigathi is looking forward to 2032. I know you are wondering how that is related to the visit to the US. If indeed they will be meeting in the US, one of the issues they'll be discussing on the table, on that particular table, is Rigathi Gachagua's presidential bid. Because Rigathi Gachagua's presidential bid is beneficial to both of them. I've always told you that in politics, the only two constants are there. I've always told you that in politics, we have only two constants: the interest and the betrayal. They've already betrayed each other. But will their interest still converge? Yes, through Rigathi running. If Rigathi were to run, and he knows very well he can't win, the intention is he's going to have a peace, he's going to have a party, and then he's going to focus on 2032. For William Ruto, if Rigathi Gachagua were to be cleared to run, that would be sweet, very sweet news to the ears of the president. Because the only way the opposition can defeat Ruto is if they are united. If Rigathi were to run, he's going to be number 2. That's the fact based on the figures of the mountain. If Rigathi were to run, the other fact is Kalonzo will also still be on the ballot. So that opposition unity will not be achieved. If Rigathi were to run, Sifuna will still be on the ballot, which means we are likely to have 3 opposition candidates. But Rigathi is going to be the victorious. Then Rigathi will be number 2. Then a rerun will be forced. And in case of a rerun, if you give Kenyans the choice of Ruto and Rigathi, most Kenyans will pick Ruto. Let us solve this once and for all. If you are given a choice between Ruto and Rigathi, let's say Sifuna has bolted out now, Kalonzo bolted out. Now in the rerun, we have 2 candidates only, Ruto and Rigathi. Who would you vote for? I know most Mount Kenya will vote for Rigathi, but most non-Mount Kenya will vote for William Ruto. That's exactly what William Ruto is praying for, and probably that is what they are going to discuss. Number 2, I'm looking at post-election coalition agreement. What do I mean? I mean a very simple thing. Rigathi knows he cannot win, but he knows he's going to have numbers. William Ruto knows that he might win, but he might not get the numbers. So which means for them, they are planning now for post-election. And that's why ODM, as a political party, should be very worried. Any agreement between Ruto and Rigathi will render them irrelevant, especially after the next election. So maybe they've gone there, they'll discuss, okay, wewe fanya mambo zako, mimi pia wacha nifanye zangu. Then let's see what's going to happen at the end of the day. Because in politics, it's about interest. Nobody knew that Rigathi would dump William Ruto. If you had to tell someone that's by July, or was it June last year, they would not have agreed with you that Rigathi would be the one not threatening William Ruto. So it's about interest, and importantly is the political funding. If Ruto wants Rigathi to run, and Rigathi wants to support someone to remove Ruto, he will put his price on the table. And that's the fact. And he will be told, this is the price. So how do we execute the price? That deal, it will be executed in the US. And of course, maybe these gentlemen just want to genuinely reconcile. Because I've always asked you, what do you think happened between William Ruto and Rigathi? If you ask anybody, they won't tell you. Probably they'll tell you that Ruto and Rigathi were in Kisumu, and then Rigathi was recorded in some conversation with the late Joanna Ngeno, where he was talking bad against the president. Only that. Yeah, just mere gossip. So maybe they've said, or they realized that, you know, these things which is dividing us should not. So let us try and reconcile. And I can assure you, behind this, you will find a serious bishop from Kenya trying to reconcile these guys. And that's why, if your bishop will also be heading to the US, be very careful. Until next time, Makwiny, bye-bye.